Alright, so now we will be doing the equation for a vertical parabola. And so for a vertical parabola, we're going to still have that same base equation of ax squared plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f all equals 0. But when it is a vertical parabola, we're going to have c equal to 0 and a equal to 1. So that leaves us with x squared plus cy squared. So we have c equals 0, right? And anything times 0, we know that's 0. So we're not going to have a cy squared. We're not going to have a y squared term in our final equation. So we're going to have x squared plus dx plus ey plus f all equals 0. The coordinates we're going to be using are the same as last time, which are 1, 3, 5, 1, and 8, 4. So again, we're going to do the same thing. So we have coordinate 1, 3, 1 being our x value and 3 being our y value. Then we're going to just substitute back into the equation, x squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. Using our x and y values 1 and 3, we're going to substitute back into this equation up here. So we have x squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. So we have x squared, which is 1 squared, plus d times our x value, which we stated was 1, plus the variable e times our y value of 3, plus f equals 0. So after substituting back into this main equation up here, we are left with 1 squared plus d times 1 plus e times 3 plus f equals 0. So 1 squared is just 1, 1 times d is just d, e times 3 is 3e, and f by itself is just f, which all equals 0. Now we want to make this 1, which is our constant, go to our right side. We want to get rid of it on the left side. And what we do to our left side, we also have to do to our right side. So we're going to subtract it from our left side. So 1 minus 1 is 0. On our right side, we're going to do subtract 1 again. So 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So now we have d plus 3e plus f equals negative 1. That's going to be our first equation for this coordinate point up here, 1, 3. Next, we're going to go to the coordinate point 5, 1. This is our x value, and that's our y value. So 5 is our x, 1 is our y. Again, we're going to go back up to this equation up here, x squared plus dx. So x squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. So x squared, our x value is 5, so we have 5 squared plus d times our x value, again is 5, plus e times our y value, which is 1, plus f all equals 0. 5 squared is just 25, plus 5 times d is just 5d, e times 1 is just e, and f by itself is just f, which all equals 0. Now again, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to subtract our constants from both sides. In this case, our constant is 25. 25 minus 25 is 0. 0 minus 25 is negative 25. So we're left with 5d plus e plus f equals negative 25. It's going to be our equation for this coordinate point up here, 5, 1. Next, we're going to get the coordinate point 8, 4. Okay, and then we're going to do our x value is 8, our y value is 4. We have x squared, in this case our x value is 8, so we have 8 squared plus d times our x value. Our x value again is 8, so d times 8, plus e times our y value, which here is 4, plus f by itself equals 0. 8 squared is just 64, plus d times 8, which is just 8d, plus e times 4, which is 4e, plus f all equals 0. Again, subtract our constant of 64 from both sides. 0 minus 64 is negative 64. Now we have 8d plus 4e plus f equals negative 64. It's going to be our third equation. With these three equations, we are now going to construct a matrix. So in this case, it's going to be a 3 by 3 matrix because we have 3 different variables. Okay, so when making the matrix, we're going to take the coefficients of our variables. In this case, whenever there's no coefficient, we are assuming it's 1, and it's positive, so it's going to be positive 1. If it was negative d or minus d, it would have been negative 1. So here we have the first row being 1, since our coefficient here is 1, assumably. And then we have our coefficient of 3 and our coefficient of 1. So we have first row of 1, 3, 1. Second row is going to be the second equation, 5, 1, 1. So we have 5, 1, 1. Third row, 8, 4, and then assumably 1. 8, 4, 1. Again, we're going to take the inverse of this matrix, so we're going to just write -1. It's really easy if you put it into an nSpire or Mathway or something really easy, a calculator. And then you're going to be multiplying that by, you're going to have it written like this, D, E, and F, which are the variables you're going to be solving for, which is going to be equal to our solutions. And in this case, our solutions are -1, -25, -64. If you can remember, those are the constants we subtracted over to our right side. So again, it's going to be -1, -25, and -64, -1, -25, -64. When putting it into the calculator, you're going to be entering this 131, 511, 841, and then it's crucial to put this -1, which is signifying you're taking its inverse. And so now that we have our first matrix, we are going to be multiplying it by our solution matrix, which was -1, -25, and -64. -1, -25, and -64. This is what we are going to be putting into our calculator, and the solution we get is going to be what D, E, and F equal, which are our variables. So after entering this into the calculator, we get D equals -1/3, E equals -14/3, and we get F equals 16/3. So now we're just going to substitute back into the equation x squared plus dx plus ey plus f all equals 0. So simply we have x squared plus our d value, which we found to be -1/3, plus -1/3x, plus our e value, -14/3, -14/3y. Again, we're just getting our variables from up here. And plus our f value, which we found to be 16/3, plus 16/3 equals 0. Now you can see we have fractions with a denominator of 3, and we don't want these fractions, so we're going to multiply each term on both sides by 3. So we have 3 times x squared, which is 3x squared, plus -1/3 times 3, which is just -1x, which is just -x, plus -14/3y times 3 is just going to be -14y, plus 16/3 times 3 is just going to be 16. Alright, so now we have the equation 3x squared minus x plus -14y plus 16, and this will all be equal to 0. This is the general form for the vertical parabola with the coordinate points of 1, 3, 5, 1, and 8, 4. Hope this video helps to help you find the equation for a vertical parabola, and please let me know if you have any more questions or requests for other videos in the comments below.